Good evening and welcome to Wells High FYI. I'm Missy Chase.
And I'm Holly McHale. Wells High School gave the visiting accreditation team a taste of the town and school committee on Sunday, March 5th, when they hosted a lobster and clam bake in the school cafeteria. The dinner included entree choices of lobster, clam, steak, and vegetarian selections. The after-dinner program featured an 8-minute video called Wells Agunquit, Live and Learn. Footage consisted of the changes and growth of Wells High, along with the special aspects of the surrounding community. Plans for the video started early in the year. The script for the video was produced with the help of the Wells High Advanced Journalism classes and Mrs. Janela O'Donnell, advisor, who collected their ideas and writings, which she put together to produce the overall script. Bob Gould and Richard Gould of WNEC Channel 12 also aided in the production of the video. Roughly 30 hours were spent gathering footage and 10 hours of editing were required. The accreditation team finished their last phase of the high school self-evaluation today when they completed their visit. Adam Zoy spoke to Wells High history teacher Lauren Mailing about the accreditation team's visit.
Is accreditation?
Well, accreditation is a system that the state puts schools through every 10 years to bring themselves up to standards to meet the New England standards of schools and colleges all over the country. And it just is a self-evaluation mostly, but the team that's here is here to see that our self-evaluation was carried out correctly and make recommendations and changes that they think would benefit the high school.
Okay, how are you involved with the accreditation process?
Well, we orchestrated the self-study that has taken place over the last year and a half. We've gotten groups of faculty members and staff together, and we've asked ourselves questions concerning what we do here, how we carry out our charges of teaching, and what things we'd like to change, what things we'd like to have remain the same. And mainly our function has been to coordinate the self-study in preparation for the visit that's taken place this week.
What does accreditation mean to a school?
Well, it means that a student that graduates, for example, from an accredited school has met a certain criteria. Most schools are accredited in the state and throughout New England, but that they have met a criteria that is standardized all over New England and accepted all over the country. And it means that the school has taken the time to go through the process of the self-evaluation so that the students are getting the best possible education they can get.
After numerous meetings, piles of resumes, and weeks of interviews, the Wells Agunquit School Committee was able to make their selection for the position of Assistant Superintendent, which was recently vacated by the resignation of Dr. Grant McGriffin. After receiving 58 resumes at the beginning of January, the committee then narrowed the choice down to 12. Interviews followed until finally Robert Hassan, currently principal of kindergarten through 8th grade at Wells, was chosen for the job. For now, Hassan will hold both positions for the remaining of the school year. The final pages of the '89 Abenaki yearbook were sent out last Saturday to Taylor Publishing Company. The proof pages should arrive at Wells High School in a couple of weeks, and the completed yearbook should be delivered by the end of May. Like last year, another assembly is being planned for handing out the yearbooks to the student body. Missy?
Present members of the Wells High School branch of the National Honor Society have been very busy raising money by selling posters and will be participating in the annual daffodil sale scheduled for March 16th to benefit the National Cancer Association. This weekend, several National Honor Society members, along with advisor Charlene Ober, will be attending the state convention in Orono. Eric Kaludik, Kirsten Bartok, Eric Nelson, Craig Farnham, and Keith Cloutier are the lucky members and will be representing Wells High there. Also in other National Honor Society news, sophomores and juniors with a grade point average of 88 or above, and seniors with a grade point average of 85 or above, will be glad to hear that they have been nominated to the Wells branch of the National Honor Society. Qualified students are given a ballot which they must fill out and return to advisor Charlene Ober in order to be further considered for National Honor Society. The induction of new members will be on March 23rd at 7:30 p.m. in the Wells High Auditorium. Also, according to advisor Charlene Ober, the new banner will be ready just in time for the evening's festivities. Adam Zoyce spoke to Charlene Ober about her plans.
I'm here with National Honor Society advisor Charlene Ober. Ms. Ober, what is the criteria for inducting new members into the National Honor Society?
It's a very specific process that we follow, and the process is set up by the National Office of the National Honor Society, and basically it has three parts. First of all, students must be academically eligible, and in our school, since the standard was raised 2 years ago, our seniors are eligible at 85, and our sophomores and juniors are eligible at 88. There is no way for freshmen to be eligible, and that too is part of the national standard. So that is the first thing that is done. The averages are accumulative grade averages in the academic areas, and those are figured at the end of the second quarter of the year. The second step is an evaluative process that's done by the teachers. They look at the list of people who are academically eligible, and they have the criteria of service, selection, and character, and they evaluate the students on that. And in order to make this a more objective rather than subjective way of looking at it, we ask all of the teachers to respond to every student that they know, and then I have a formula which sort of turns this all into a code that makes it a very fair part of the selection. And the third thing is that the students themselves fill out a student activity information form that they receive when they are notified that they are academically eligible. And from that point, these three pieces of information are given to the faculty council. And the faculty council is authorized to make the selection by looking at these three pieces of information.
How did the change come about to raise the grade point average from an 85 to an 88?
It was an interesting process because it was initiated by the students themselves in a meeting. They felt that looking at an 85 might not be high enough. They wanted a stricter standard, and they chose an 88 after 2 meetings worth of discussion. And then I took it to the faculty council, since the faculty council is the body that has the authority to make that change, which they did. And that is why there are, if you want to call it a double standard, but I think I prefer to call it that the seniors are grandfathered at 85.
Wells Junior High students recently participated in an academic contest and proved that listening in class and playing Trivial Pursuit are great attributes of a winner. On Tuesday, February 28th, Wells Junior High joined Frisbee Junior High and Noble Junior High for the Southern Maine College Bowl. This is a competition which quizzes young students in several junior high topics, as well as high school subjects like European geography and psychology. Each team received points based on the correct answers given. The Wells Junior High team accumulated 147 points, enough to easily beat their 2 opponents. Frisbee of Kittery earned 120 points for second place, while Noble earned 102 points for third. According to the York County Co-Star, the students from Wells were able to answer many questions because the topics were recently covered in their classes. The team also confessed that playing Trivial Pursuit before the game helped a great deal. Holly?
Are you a cardiac kid? Do you know of one, or aren't you even sure of what one is? A cardiac kid is a baby born with a heart defect. This defect not only affects the child, but it also takes a toll on the child's parents, families, and friends as well. Taryn Allen is one of these cardiac kids. She and her family know the effects that a heart defect can have. Patty Allen, Taryn's mother, decided to do something for herself and for other families in the same situation. She has started a support group called Parents with Cardiac Kids. FYI correspondent Michelle Bedreau has more on this situation.
For the Central Highlands.
The second meeting, we got another new family. The other ones didn't show up, sad to say. but that's okay. They don't have a commitment to the support group. But I think they'll come back, and we'll get new ones, and eventually it will grow.
What are your goals for your group?
I want new parents with children with a defect to know that we're here. I'd like a network. If a child is first born in the hospital and there is a problem, the hospital personnel to know that there's somebody out here if that family wants to talk to somebody immediately. A lot of families don't want to talk right away, but if they just had a name, or the hospital could say at another date, or a nurse, that so-and-so has that problem, would you like to speak to them? I think it would help.
Can you tell us how the students can get involved with your group?
Thankfully, they've already started, and I really appreciate it. A lot of students here in the high school have had heart defects. Some of them have had operations. And I want these students that are playing basketball and baseball, whatever, to be able to say to a new parent, I played baseball and I had a heart defect that's fine now. I want them to know that these babies will grow up and they will have a normal life.
Thank you, Patty.
You're
This
welcome.
has been Michelle Boudreau for FYI. Now back to the studio. Wells Junior High students engaged in a little exercise for money last Saturday. The students took part in the school district's third annual Jump Rope for Heart event on Saturday, March 4th from 9 to 10:30 in the Ronco Gymnasium. Students signed up sponsors whose pledge is based on the total jumping time of the teams of 6. Their goal this year is to exceed last year's total of $4,000. All proceeds will be donated to the American Heart Association. There are just 5 more weeks until the big night. The cast of the musical production, The Fantastics, are busily preparing for their first performance on April 15th. The players are now incorporating the music into rehearsals, and drama students are selecting various projects to help prepare for opening night. Be sure to keep your eyes and ears open for the announcement of ticket sales. We will now join Holly Weber for this week's editorial.
I remember my freshman year, how envious I was of the seniors and the freedoms that they had. I couldn't wait until I was a senior and I had these freedoms too. Well, the year has come, and with time, rules have changed. Because of these rules, I feel seniors are gradually being deprived of the privileges that come in your final year of high school. Senior privileges are not just granted automatically. They are worked for and set as goals to achieve. Once seniors do achieve these goals, there are conditions that have to be met. And once these are established, privileges that were granted and have been for years should not be taken away in the middle of the year. The specific area of which I am referring is something called senior sign-in. This sign-in allows senior privileged students to be able to skip homeroom and go directly to first period. Now, unless they have first period study hall, senior privileged students must be in homeroom just as the underclassmen. I realize this may not be a drastic change, but to us who had to be in at 7:50 and now have to be in at 7:40, it makes a world of difference. This 10 minutes is causing senior privileged students grief and detentions, which in effect is in the loss of their privileges. This new rule might make attendance easier for the faculty, but part of being a senior is being able to have special advantages that the underclassmen do not. In my opinion, after going by homeroom rules for 3 years, senior privileges are not amounting to much. I hope that the administration here at Wells High will acknowledge the wishes and concerns of these upperclassmen so that the last of our high school years will be made memorable and a little less stressful.
Good evening and welcome to FYI Sports. I'm Karen Lank.
And I'm Jason Cheek. McDonald's has recently awarded Holly McHale, but not with a free meal. McHale has been chosen for the McDonald's Senior West All-Star Team. Other area players named to the team are Allison Gagne from Marshwood, Lisa Cody from Sanford, and Heather Briggs from Biddeford. Class A and B West coaches nominated a player from another team as candidates for the All-Star Team. McHale learned of her spot on the squad from Martin Ryan, who was informed by Principal Val G. Nolan. McHale was instructed to keep it a secret until the Class A regular season had been completed. McHale and her team, as well as the East squad, will attend a banquet on March 24th at John Martin's Manor in Waterville. The following evening, the East and West squads will face off at the Colby College gym. About her selection to the team, McHale said, "I was excited and proud when I found out. I never had put myself as high up as the other players. It will be fun to play with the best players from the other teams. This is like a dream team. After a year's absence, the New England Patriots will return to Wells to take on the Wells High faculty. Such names as Cedric Jones, Craig James, Eugene Proffitt, Ronnie Lepet, John Steffens, and Doug Flutie are possible participants for the Patriots team. Competing for the Wells High faculty will be such contenders as Jay Spud Audette, Andy On the Backboard Bridge, Jay Muggsy Moore, and the Dr. G. Ferris. Game time is 6:30 p.m. on Saturday evening, March 11th. Tickets are $5 apiece with a limit of 4 tickets a person. Tickets can be purchased from the athletic department.
I'm Missy Chase.
And I'm Holly McHale.
Good night.